What's going on, world? This is the 16th
Yep.
episode of the Bet On Us podcast. I'm 1K Watts.
And Mike.
And we got Sean and Andres behind the boards.
What's up, everybody?
Episode 16, dude. Nuts.
Crazy, dude.
Moving.
Crazy.
Cooking.
I just always look forward to a day that we've all been working all day, grinding it out, and at the end of the day, we get to come together, drink a couple beers, record another episode of the podcast. I really do genuinely look forward to these days during the week. It's a break. It breaks up the monotony of normal bullshit.
Yeah, you're going out of town too, so it's good to get another podcast shot. Really, I mean, we just shot one a couple days ago, but I'm glad we can knock another one out. And
Yeah.
we can have some content for you guys, you know.
So we're planning on doing another one Tuesday. So my schedule's crazy. I'm going to be in Fresno or up north in Fresno for a few days, back here for literally 24 hours. I got a couple appointments with some clients here, recording another episode of the podcast, and then driving back up to Fresno that night. So it's going to be a crazy week and a half for me. But point being, we got to make this shit happen.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do what we can, even if we can't get it done, you know. It's
Absolutely.
in the books.
Absolutely.
Shit. Game one, huh?
Game one. Lakers in 6.
Lakers in 6. Yeah, I
Still.
give you that. So,
Should we go back to the Lakers? Should we talk about the Heat and Celtics first and then go back to the Lakers? Should we go off on the
No,
Lakers
let's
for a
kick it
little
off.
bit? All right, let's go.
hey guys, we got to pay some bills really quick. So I just want to say support for the Bet On Us podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming. Their products are precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off with free worldwide shipping with the code BETONUS. That's 20% off, free worldwide shipping with the code BETONUS at manscaped.com. If I'm correct, that's about 8 million balls, give or take.
16 to be exact. This is 16 million balls that Manscaped is helping keep smoother than a baby's bottom, which is actually a little bit of a weird comparison when talking about nuts, but you get the point. You guys need to get this performance package. Your girl will love you for this shit. Every woman likes something that's well maintained. Shit, the guys do too, if that's what you're into. So in the performance package, it comes with a few different things. You got a nice pair of Manscaped underwear that you'll get in the package. You got the lawnmower for
4.0.
shaving those precious jewels. The lawnmower 4.0 is a precision cutting device. Comes with a light. And you also got some different, attachments for different lengths,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, why pay your light bill when there's a light right there, you know?
Exactly. You don't need electricity to shave your nuts anymore. Well, you kind of do to charge this thing, but you get it. You also got the weed whacker right here for trimming up those little pesky nose hairs that start sticking out a little bit. This one's pretty important. I use this all the time. I'm a hairy Italian dude, bro. My nose gets hairy. You also got your crop reviver right here. If you're, had a long day and you want to be fresh for your girl, you just spritz your nuts with these and it brings them back to life.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we do have to disclose that this is only for external use. Do not put this shit on the tip of your penis. It will burn.
Yeah.
It does not feel good.
From experience.
Full disclosure. And then here's your crop preserver. This is good for it. It's like a ball deodorant, right? If you're working out a lot, you work outside, you're active, definitely want to use this. Keeps you a little bit fresh throughout the day, and it's definitely a real confidence boost as well. And then the package also comes with this nice little toiletry bag. Really clean, really cool.
Leather.
Manscaped also has a lot of other products too. They have some wipies, some I think they're called mop crops, some cleanser, foot duster, even cologne now, and razors as well.
I mean, look, we're making you the best man that you can be. How would you not want to have a Manscaped bundle?
Dude,
you
and
know?
they got body wash. Manscaped is literally setting you up for all your hygiene needs to help keep us men fresh and clean.
I mean, as much as you like getting a whiff of your nuts throughout the day, we're trying to help you out. You know,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
girl
come
don't
on.
like it, your man don't like it. Whoever you're with, help them out.
It's cool to take care of yourself, guys. Let's
Yeah.
be clean shaven. Let's be well taken care of and keep our junk clean. Manscaped is trying to save your balls, and they will appreciate it.
Become a real man, dude.
Oh,
Real
yeah.
men take care of themselves. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's 2023. It's not 1840 anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Came a long way.
So, again, guys, your balls will thank you. Get Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BETONUS for 20% off and free shipping worldwide. Again, it's a hell of a deal. You need this stuff in your life.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you. Go check out Manscaped. Use the code BETONUS. Thank you.
Back to the show.
Let's kick it off.
All right, let's go.
I think Lakers in 6. I think Lakers figured out the Nuggets game. Obviously, there's going to be adjustments, but I think they figured out the Nuggets game in fourth quarter. I liked how we played in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It looked like we actually caught some wind. Mm-hmm. The altitude, I think, had an issue on us, affected us. But I think we win tomorrow's game in Denver, and then I think we win 2 of the next 3 in LA.
I think we win the first 2 in LA.
I think it's going to go 1-2-1.
Here's my thing, right? So I'm confident in the Lakers' chances because the Denver Nuggets played better. They can't play better than that.
No, that was like, bro, that's top tier
the
game.
best they're going to play.
Yeah.
And the Lakers, through the first 3 quarters, I don't know if we could have played any worse. Dude, they out-rebounded us. Like, it was like 47 rebounds to 30.
Yeah.
Joker out-rebounded AD like 12 rebounds to 1 in the first quarter. So the fact that we weathered that storm, and it was still we were down 3
and
with 40 seconds left.
Think about how many points were converted off of those offensive rebounds. So once we start getting our hands on those rebounds, we'll be all right.
Dude, their first 11 misses, the Denver Nuggets' first 11 misses, they had 9 offensive rebounds on those.
Yeah.
They
And
were just botting us on the boards. It was crazy.
They weren't missing shots, dude.
No.
Since when does KCP shoot like that?
Dude, so there was
crazy.
The one buzzer beater that Joker hit at the end of, was that the end of the second or the third?
I thought it was the end of the third. Yeah.
That shit was stupid. AD's fucking palm is touching his nose.
Nothing you can do about that.
And then,
same with Murray.
And Jamal Murray's was worse. He wasn't even squared up with the fucking hoop. He was like, his right hip was pointed at the hoop and he just like jumped up and threw it up and made it. That shit was stupid.
And I mean, bro, that's the best I've ever seen them play, and they still barely beat us.
Yeah.
So I like how we closed out. I think our adjustments that were made going into the fourth quarter made a difference. I think Darvin Ham figured them out, which is great. Let's build off of that, and maybe LeBron, don't shoot the game tying 3 like that. I didn't like that.
It was a bad shot with 45 seconds left and 17 seconds left on the
Bro,
shot clock.
Even worse than that. Okay, low percentage shot. Murray covering him had 5 fouls. Take it to the hoop. He can't touch you.
And they haven't stopped you. Even old man LeBron James is still undeniable when he just drives down into the paint.
But you got 5 fouls. You're protecting yourself, so you're gonna back off of him. He's taking it to the hoop. That's light work. That we should have got 2 conversions in that 40 seconds.
Yeah,
and we got none.
I agree on that.
It's fucking nuts.
I think a lineup adjustment that we're gonna make. As much as I love D'Angelo Russell offensively, he's a defensive liability. And in the fourth quarter, we put in Rui Hachimura. Did Joker score a single point in the fourth quarter?
I don't know.
Soon as Rui Hachimura was on Joker,
for
whatever reason, he was giving him problems.
Hachimura, bro. People sleep on his build.
That's
a man.
He's big, dude. Yeah. That's a big boy.
Yeah.
So you put Rui Hachimura on Joker,
more athletic,
and have AD kind of fucking floating at the top of the key for the secondary help. Dude, dare them to, bro. If we're gonna lose, let Aaron, what's his fucking name? Number 50. Oh, it's so annoying. Let them, huh?
On the Nuggets?
Let them beat us by the 3-point line. They don't got shooters like that, dude.
You're talking about Michael Porter Jr.?
Not Michael Porter Jr. Aaron
Gordon. Yeah, he's not gonna do nothing.
So let Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. try to beat us from the 3-point line.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to shoot like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's just upset. Everything went in last night. It's their night. Have that.
Yeah, so I think the adjustment we need to make moving forward, have Rui Hachimura on Joker. Start Rui. For whatever reason, Rui had Joker's number. I think that's an adjustment that we're going to see moving forward. And then we can have AD floating around the top of the key. And then we're going to leave Aaron or Michael open to take a 3. I will live and die by that. Make them beat us.
The fact of the matter is AD's not covering Porter Jr. He's going to be, if anything, on Aaron or Brown or whoever's out there. And he's not going to be top of the key. He's going to be more bottom key to just come up, help, put a hand up, get a rebound. Now we're moving.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yeah, dude. It was just, it was such an exciting game because I was like so close to turning it off multiple times. Like, I don't want to watch this shit.
I left the TV at halftime, played some Call of Duty. I had to let out some demons. I was angry. Yeah, I came back in the third quarter like, okay, let's just watch this shit,
Yeah, really good game though. So, usually Lakers losing game 1, we wouldn't be sitting here this confident. Yeah. I'm super happy about the way we finished that game.
I would much rather be in our shoes with how that game ended compared to them.
Yeah, fact.
Like it seemed
we got momentum going into game 2.
Were the first 3 quarters a fluke? Is that luck? I mean, you'd rather be lucky than good, but you can't be lucky every game.
So in the 2020 bubble year playoffs, it was 4-1, right?
4-2 maybe?
I'm pretty sure
Was
it was
it
4-1.
4-1? Okay.
I'm pretty sure I could almost put money that it was 4-1 in 2020 when we beat the Nuggets.
I think I just wrote an article, and it might have been 4-2. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay.
But, dude, again, I still think Lakers in 6. If we can take Game 2 in Denver, I like our chances.
Yeah.
And, again, so you had mentioned at the beginning the fatigue issue with the elevation up there.
Yes. People forget that's
it makes a difference.
A mile high.
You hear that in football all the time. Mile High City, right? It makes a real impact when
it's
you're
on
up
their
there.
jerseys.
Yeah, and it fucking sucks, dude. Go try to go on a jog when you're up in 6,000 feet of elevation. But typically, you see the elevation play a role in the later quarters.
Yeah.
Typically, it's quarter 3, quarter 4 to where you start to see the fatigue in the visiting team. And the fact that quarter 4 was our strongest quarter in the game makes me a little bit
I can
happy about
tell
that.
you what happened. I guarantee you we got to Denver, did some light shoot-arounds here and there for the first however long we were there. I guarantee you there was no full sprint back and forth in a practice, and I think they realized they fucked up on transitions. There was no transition defense for us.
Dude, the first half we looked so sluggish.
Austin
and
Reeves looked tired, slow.
Oh my fuck, dude.
I think people are going to step up. I think D'Lo figures it out. Austin Reeves figured it out by the end of that game. Started knocking down some shots.
Austin Reeves is a dog.
Yeah.
He's fucking nice with it, dude.
I'm very optimistic about
It was 4-1.
I'm very optimistic about how we look. Yeah.
So Sean behind the boards did confirm that the 2020 Western Conference Finals Lakers did beat the Nuggets 4-1. That has nothing to do with this year. I'm just saying I was right. I want to point that out. I'm just kidding. But I think the Lakers are going to win in 6. That's my prediction. Game 7 in Denver is not a good thing.
I'd rather Game 7 in Denver than Game 7 in Golden State. Denver doesn't scare me like that. Bro, their crowd wasn't even in. Bro, their crowd's only going nuts when they score. Whereas Golden State's going nuts the whole time.
game.
LA's going nuts the whole time.
That's true.
It's a bunch of fucking, I'm not
true.
even getting into the crowd.
You know, like, all right, so I get that Joker's a fucking dog, dude. That dude's an animal. But it's just so frustrating seeing somebody that's like, all right, bro, you look at these basketball players, and the majority of them are like 6'8", chiseled, 3% body fat, 6-pack abs. And you see Joker that is built the same way as me, just 7 feet tall. This man can't jump higher than 3 inches off the ground. It's just everything about the way he plays looks so awkward and like it doesn't look the way it's supposed to look, but it just works. It makes me so mad.
Yeah. I mean, when you're 7 foot tall, you can almost do anything on the basketball court.
Yeah, it's true. If you're a normal person and you're 7 feet tall and you've never at least played like China League or European League basketball, what have you done with your life? Like, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah, time wasted, I'm optimistic about Game 2, though. We'll see how it plays out. I'm excited for it.
I really want to see a Lakers-Celtics finals.
Yeah.
I think just for like the rivalry's sake, I think that would be super exciting to watch. I don't know if they're going to beat the Heat, though. They just
After
lost.
watching this game, I think the Celtics make adjustments, though. I think that's going to be a good series, even though the Heat won. It was only a 6-point win.
Yeah,
it was 5-point win.
The stretch.
So we'll see how that plays out. I like the Lakers' chances. I'm not going to dive into the Heat series too much. I didn't watch that whole game.
Yeah. Jimmy Buckets is a dog, though.
But I think if LeBron does what he needs to do, AD does what he needs to do, I mean, 40 points is nuts. He went crazy,
Again, 40 points. We just can't have the rebounding disparity.
Yeah.
And again, the fact, like, how often do you see... We got out-rebounded by 17 rebounds. That shit's not even... Like, most of the time when you see that, you would look at the final score on top of the rebound differential and we would have gotten blown out. The fact that we were that close and the rebounding disparity was that bad almost reminds me of, what was it, Game 1 of the Warriors series where they outscored us crazy from 3. They were draining threes, making them like crazy, and we were still in the game the whole time and ended up stealing Game 1.
They only out-rebounded us in the first couple quarters, though. Because
the first half,
we made up that difference really quick. Because it was like a lot more than
The first
the
quarter
difference
was bad.
Yeah, it was crazy.
The first quarter was horrible.
It was nuts.
There was one point, I think it was halfway through the third quarter, we were down by 21.
Yeah.
And the fact that it comes down to that close of a game at the end of the fourth quarter is crazy.
Yeah, we just got to be smarter with a minute left. We can't
Yeah.
just be pulling up threes. I get it. You're the greatest of all time, but rethink that shot, especially when you're 0 for 4 for the night.
You're the greatest of all time at driving the basketball in the lane. LeBron's such a big body and so athletic and so strong. Like, dude, nobody's gonna. Dude, you got Murray on you.
Yeah.
Put your shoulder into his chest. Make him foul you. Make him foul out.
Especially
Make him one-dimensional.
in that situation, Michael Porter was about to slide over to help. That's an easy kick out to the corner, whoever
Yeah.
was sitting in the corner.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
we could have easily tied that game up.
Yeah. So, again, I'm super excited about the way the Lakers are looking moving forward. I'm not taking that loss as a negative. I think that was a good thing. We made the necessary adjustments. I think a few key game plan adjustments and lineup adjustments, and we're fine. So again, I'm still holding heavy on my bet. Lakers in 6.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
I see it.
Yep.
What else we got on topic?
The only other big thing that we got going on right now is that Francis Ngannou has officially signed a contract with the PFL. So there was that long kind of hiatus that he took when he was in like a free agent. He got released or not. He wasn't with the UFC anymore. There was a bunch of other contract negotiations. Like One Championship was a organization that he was. One Championship was an organization that he was negotiating with. One Championship is the biggest MMA organization in Asia, and they backed out of contract negotiations because Francis Ngannou was asking for too much. Things like health insurance for fighters, minimum guaranteed purses for opponents, a seat on the board of directors, all this kind of crazy shit that fighters have never gotten before. And it just so turns out that the PFL was willing to give him all that shit. So this man's getting paid. So his amount per fight is not disclosed, but there's a minimum guaranteed for all his opponents to make a minimum guaranteed salary of $2 million per fight, which is way more than Francis Ngannou in his UFC career made like $3.7 million. I can only imagine that he's going to double that in his first PFL fight. Another one of the bigger things is that he's open to boxing outside of the PFL. So Francis has been very vocal about wanting to box Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury and stuff like that. This contract structure allows him to go box outside of the PFL, to where the PFL has no jurisdiction over it, no cut on the commissions. He can go do that by his own will. So it was a win for Francis Ngannou. I think this is still an L for MMA fans because I don't think we will ever see John Jones and Francis Ngannou fight now.
Yeah.
So, kind of a bummer on that regard. But congrats, Francis. You got paid. You got what you wanted. You're trying to make some real differences in this sport and bring change to the sport. I think UFC, or not even UFC fighters, MMA fighters deserve more. They're putting their lives, body, and brain on the line every night they go out there. They deserve to make more than a fucking... Dude, some of these guys don't make shit in the UFC. There's some guys that, like, these low-level fighters are literally making a few $1,000s to go out there and put your life on the line. Like, to me, that's crazy.
Yeah, especially whenever you compare it to boxing, dude. It's like boxing, there's so much more money in boxing. And it's like, man, like MMA fighters, in my opinion, are just more talented all around because it's, mixed martial arts, right?
Yeah.
Boxing is one-sided. And it's like, I always thought that they should get paid a lot more than what they do. So I'm glad that Francis is, trying to make a difference, like you said.
Yeah, it's cool to see Francis sticking to his guns on what he wanted. The only thing I could argue with a little bit is I think boxing's a little bit more of a worldwide draw. Like, for example, Canelo Alvarez just fought John Ryder in Mexico.
Yeah.
And nobody here in the U.S. heard about it. I think boxing's much more of a worldwide draw because of all these crazy athletes from different countries and different backgrounds that are in it, to where... Let me think about when Manny Pacquiao was in his prime. Nobody gave a fuck about the Philippines in boxing when Manny Pacquiao wasn't active or was, so there's things like that make an impact. I think UFC, so low-level boxers and low-level UFC fighters or MMA fighters in general make about the same. It's the high end, right? You hear about these like world championship UFC fighters that are making a few million. But then you have Canelo making 40. You have Deontay Wilder making 30. You have Tyson Fury, like all the champion. It's the championship money that's different, right? Champions in boxing versus champions in the UFC. It's Not even close, dude. Like, John Jones is the best fighter in the world by far, including boxing. But he's not made a fraction of the amount of money that Tyson Fury's made.
You think John Jones comes in and boxes the best boxers?
I don't think John Jones will ever box.
No, I know, but you just said including boxing. Hypothetically, you think he can fight some of the best, like Tyson Fury?
Maybe not. Tyson Fury's a different breed. But I think John Jones can go in there and throw hands with Deontay Wilder.
I think it's like, if you send John Jones into boxing, he might get pieced up.
Yeah.
But if you send any of those guys into MMA, you send John Jones and Tyson Fury down a dark alley or lock them in a room, John Jones is coming out every fucking time. That's without a doubt. So if you want to talk about baddest man on the planet, John Jones owns that title, in my opinion. But it's just different. Like, if you go into boxing, that's just, you're going into
Different
somebody else's
priorities,
world.
yeah.
You're going to somebody else's world. So
Boxing is a very limited form of fighting, right? You're using your fist. You're not, like, you saw KSI knock that dude out with the elbow. You see that shit? That was so blatant and bad. But it's different sport. So I get what you're saying. I think what the difference is when you have somebody that's training boxing from the time they're 12, right? You're training this one art, this one thing. Yeah. So it's that 10,000 hours to be a master at any trade, right? Like, if you're only boxing, it's a lot easier to put that $10,000 or 10,000 hours in and master that craft. Versus if you're an MMA fighter, to be completely well-rounded and a master in every regard. So you're talking about wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, kickboxing. It's impossible for you to master all of those skills at once.
Yeah. And then, like, there's those fighters that come in with a striking background or a jiu-jitsu background, or like Khabib. He stuck to his guns when it came to strictly wrestling, and it worked for him. He was unbeaten, never lost, champion, dominated motherfuckers, right?
Out the game.
Dominated, right? Yeah, got rich and got out, right? And then, then there's those other fighters that are trying to be like a little bit well-rounded at everything, a little bit good at striking, a little bit good at wrestling, just to be well-rounded, right? Because you never know what, every fight starts standing up, but you never know where it's going to end up, right? So it's like, it's a tough, if you were to like build a fighter from the ground up, it's like, what do you do?
Choose to perfect, yeah.
So I'm going to tie this all back into each other, but talking about Khabib and Conor, right? So with UFC, Khabib is arguably, and I don't think it's that much of an argument, he's like the best wrestler or grappler ever. Like, his ability and his balance to like put his weight on you and just wear you down and beat the shit out of you is second to none. And then you also have Conor McGregor during his peak, to where his hands were so quick and so fast and his kickboxing was so on point, to where he was arguably the best striker in his era. So when you have somebody who's the best grappler and the best striker at the same time, whose skill is better? Like, who's it harder to close the distance on, right? And we saw what happened. Khabib ate alive Gaethje, Poirier, McGregor. Like, any good striker, Khabib just ate up. When you're a good wrestler or good on the ground with grappling, it's so hard to defend that as a kickboxer. Because I'm just waiting to land that kick, right? And I finally get that opening and I throw that kick. And my worst fear comes true and you swallow that shit up and just drag me to the ground, and now I'm fucked because I can't do anything. Mm-hmm. What is so interesting about John Jones is we've seen him go out of his way. So I'm a big John Jones buff, dude. Greatest of all time. If you go watch his old fights, he almost goes out of his way to beat whoever he was fighting in what their specialty was. Lyoto Machida was a jiu-jitsu guy, right? And he choked Lyoto Machida the fuck out standing up. And when he dropped Lyoto, it was a limp, lifeless body that fell to the ground, right? When he fought Chael Sonnen was a college wrestler, a ground and pound guy. He was known for taking you down and sitting on top of you and beating the shit out of you with elbows. So we already know John Jones is a submission artist. He can choke you out if he wants to. And he dragged Chael Sonnen to the ground and sat on top of him and rained elbows on him until he TKO'd him in the second round. And that's not even what John Jones' specialty is. And then you look at the most recent trilogy with Daniel Cormier. That was their biggest rivalry towards the end of John Jones' light heavyweight reign. And he was taking down Daniel Cormier, who was a D1 college wrestler, who was somebody who, like, you look at Olympic wrestler, dude. And you look at John Jones with his skinny ass legs and he's built kind of like stringy and long. Like Daniel Cormier, in theory, should have been able to wrestle fuck John Jones and manhandle him. And what do we see? John Jones taking down Daniel Cormier 3 or 4 times in a fight, dude. He went out of his way to prove he's like, you're the best at that. I'm gonna beat you at that. And that's why John Jones is the best. Because I really think that John Jones can fight somebody who's a kickboxer in an MMA fight. I'm not saying in their respective things, but you can fight somebody who's a kickboxer in MMA, and I'm going to choose to stand up with you in kickbox just so I can show you that I can beat you at what you're good at.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That's a bad motherfucker whenever you're beating people at their own game, dude. It's like, god damn.
The baddest, dude.
And then going back to the McGregor thing, before I forget, that he just released
I saw
McGregor
that.
Forever.
I haven't watched it
on
yet.
Netflix. I watched the first episode today.
Fire.
Shit's fire, dude.
I wanna
And there's
watch
like 6. I think there's like 6 episodes. The first one was called Bad Blood, and it was about him and Khabib. The lead up to the fight, behind the scenes, all this shit.
Him
It's
throwing a
good.
dolly
It's
in
a good
there.
watching. I recommend you guys check it out.
I want to check that one out. But the new season of the UFC Ultimate Fighter just started, right? Have you watched any of it?
Like another week or two.
Oh, okay, it hasn't come out yet. But him and Michael Chandler are fighting, and there's all these little clips of them talking shit that just cracks me up. Connor's so funny, dude. There's this one clip of them standing in the weight room just like, at first just friendly talking shit, right? And Connor's like, did they tell you what fight it's going to be at? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, they said it's going to be 185. Michael's like, I'm down for 185. If you want to fight at 185, let's fight at 185. And Connor's like, you'll do what the fuck you're told. I'm the shot caller around here. And starts roasting him. And Michael just literally stands there. He's like, like doesn't say anything, just eats it.
What are you gonna say, dude? I mean, like McGregor,
He's not
low key
lying.
calls the shots.
He's
you know
not
what I mean?
lying.
It's like, he's got
Come
the
on.
power. You know, Mike doesn't have that power. You know.
I'm really excited to watch that shit, though. It's going to be so much fun.
They haven't even announced the date yet.
I know. They're fighting at the end of sometime this summer.
They haven't announced it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully though.
It's going to be a good fight. Because Michael Chandler comes out and bangs. Throws bombs. I mean, it's going to be an exciting fight for sure. So,
What are we sitting at time-wise?
23.
I think we fucking...
Start bench cut?
Yeah, we've already
do the
touched
start
on
bench
it.
cuts, yeah.
Yeah, we have. I mean, we just shot an episode 2 days ago, so it's like we don't have too much to talk about.
and it's not football season.
Yeah.
You know, we're kind of just grasping for shit right
So
now.
let's get into it.
So-
You got to pick
Alright.
one of us to do it without us knowing which
Okay.
one.
All right.
yeah.
In that case, I'm gonna start with Jeff. I'm gonna go start bench cut. All right. We got Debo Samuel, T Higgins, and Terry McLaurin.
Okay. You want to repeat that?
Debo Samuels, T. Higgins, and Terry McLaurin.
Okay.
Start bench cut.
Start bench cut.
That's a tough one.
So, if we're talking wide receivers, I'm starting Terry. People sleep on Terry. I think a lot of that is due to him not having a quarterback. They've had like fucking 100 quarterbacks in the past 10 years.
That's fact.
Which
Scary
is-
Terry's a dog.
I think if you give Terry McLaurin a quarterback, he really shines because he's shining with fucking Sam Howell or whoever the fuck is at quarterback, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I like Terry there. This is where it gets tricky. Because I think T. Higgins can be number one in most.
If
on
Jamar Chase wasn't there,
on
he's
most
the number one.
squads, I see T. Higgins as a number one. I like his game a little bit more than Debo. Debo is utilized for a lot more than just receiving, but I think when if we're picking receivers, I'm rocking with T. Higgins.
That's fair. So when you're talking about T. Higgins is probably a better overall wide receiver than Debo. But Debo's this utility player that you can throw these jet sweeps to. You can
Yeah.
run the ball with him.
Yeah.
You can put him in the backfield. You can put him a slot outside. Like Debo's versatility.
Jack of all trades, yeah.
His versatility is what makes him a little bit better than T. Higgins, but in the receiver argument. I get what you're
So
saying.
I'm cutting Debo.
I like that answer just because you helped it make sense for me, right? Like if you're talking wide receivers, that's a good way to put it because I think while I'm looking at these three guys, I think in my head there's no way Debo's not, there's no way Debo's getting cut. You know what I mean? So like I like the way you put that.
Hell yeah.
If we want to roll on to the next one for
Let's do
Mike,
it. Yep.
all right, start bench cut. We got Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, and Kyler Murray.
Okay. Ready? Start bench cut. Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, or Kyler Murray.
Cutting Daniel Jones. That's an easy one.
You're insane.
What?
Insane. I saw your face
Daniel
too.
Jones?
Over Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray still has more upside than Daniel Jones has.
I think. No. I think.
Attitude aside.
No, I think people don't know how good Daniel Jones actually is. He had a
Bro.
good season last year.
This is the only time I've ever heard this guy speaking in favor of Daniel Jones. Listen to him during any week of the NFL season. He's like, that fool fucking sucks.
Other than
Daniel
rushing touchdowns, Daniel Jones had almost comparable stats to Jalen Hurts.
I don't want to hear that.
You got to remember, he's been on a shitty ass Giants team for the last however many years since his rookie year. He finally got
It's a real tough-
hold on, he got a good coach. He's got some good players around him. It's all starting to come together. With this year right here, like if he shits the bed, then it's like, all right, fuck him. But
I feel really bad for somebody who has to quad Barkley on their fucking running back.
Okay,
Quads.
what I'm saying is Daniel Jones made the playoffs last year, and Kyler Murray went 3 and fucking 5, like some dumb number. Even though he got hurt,
They won like 5 games.
he got
They had some
hurt,
injuries
but
and
yeah,
shit.
Kyler Murray is not better than Daniel Jones.
I think he is better than Daniel Jones. That sounds like the hate from an Eagle fan. But
I would be hating on Daniel Jones.
I don't know. You're right. Cut Daniel Jones. So, with Justin Fields, benching Justin Fields and starting.
Come on, Justin Fields is a dog. Give him some weapons, and he's an all-time quarterback right now.
for sure start him. That's just me though.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Fuck you guys.
Okay.
You know, everybody's answer is different.
Yeah, that's what it, because that creates,
totally
it'll
fine.
create
It's-
discourse.
Honesty.
Somebody's
Goddamn.
gonna disagree with you. Probably a lot of people, but all right.
First
so,
off, how many Giants fans are there? And you guys can all suck my dick.
Pace.
Yeah.
My pace. Who's
Who's that?
all right. So the reason I started with Jeff is so that it can come back to Jeff for this one. All right. Start bench cut. We got T. Higgins, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle.
You want to repeat it?
Can you repeat that one more time?
We got T. Higgins, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle.
All right, so start bench cut. T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, and Devontae Smith.
Okay. Of course I'm starting Devontae Smith. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? You know, versatile. He gets up there. Skinny Batman, bro. He makes plays happen. He had 90 receptions last year as a number 2. Over a thousand receiving yards.
As a number 2. That's pretty
As a number
impressive.
2. So
Jalen Waddle also had over 1,000 as a number 2.
Jalen Waddle isn't as versatile to me as Devontae Smith. I mean,
How so?
he's got speed on his side, but he's not getting up there like Devontae Smith. Devontae
fair.
Smith
That's
is
fair.
a
That's fair.
fucking.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Technically, these are all number 2 receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I like Devontae Smith, bench T. Higgins, and cut Waddle.
That's a tough one when all those receivers are that good.
No, yeah, they're solid receivers. Waddle was on Alabama too, right?
Yeah.
Who was the number 1?
At that time, it's hard to say.
It's Devontae Smith. He won the Heisman.
But didn't Waddle come out a year earlier than Devontae Smith did?
They were on the same team, same time though.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, so I think Devontae Smith, could be a number 1 on a lot of teams.
That's a hard one. All 3 of those receivers are pretty close. I'm so surprised by how much of a hard time you guys are giving me about Daniel Jones.
Bro, Daniel Jones is good. Like you're sleeping on actually like he has no wide receivers. Darius Slayton and fucking
Daniel Jones is somewhere between the 20th best quarterback in the league and the 32nd best quarterback in the league.
Bro, he made the playoffs.
He's not a top. Would you give him? Is he better than half the guys in the NFL?
Probably.
Nah.
I mean, okay, so we did our top 10 quarterbacks, obviously. I think Daniel Jones falls at 15.
Maybe. I put Dak Prescott at like 15. So Daniel Jones is like 18, 19, 20. First off, I'm just saying shit to piss off Cowboys fans because I know y'all going to be pissed.
Okay, so my thing is Justin Fields is much better than Kyler Murray, too. Give him a squad, and he's cooking.
I mean, are you saying that because we saw some flashy running ability? Like, I just don't know if I see him as a sit back in the pocket.
I mean, if he progresses accuracy wise and you give him some wide receivers, I think he starts putting some things together, you know?
Maybe.
But
There's some upside there. I'm just not completely out on Kyler Murray yet.
I don't like him. I just don't like him as a player.
You don't like him as a person because he plays too much Call of Duty. You don't like him because he's better at Warzone than any of us.
He plays more than us.
Oh, shit.
He's probably played all day today. Yeah, let's wrap this thing up.
I think we're good.
That was a good segment at the end.
For sure.
Shit. So this was the 16th episode. Make sure you use code BETONUS, manscaped.com, 20% off all orders plus free shipping.
Yep.
We just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Our YouTube numbers going up, TikTok going up. Let's keep making an impact. You guys are the reason why we exist.
Fact, we appreciate all the support. We'll be back with another episode coming out Wednesday or Thursday next week. Again, stay tuned, guys. Love all of you for paying attention. Peace.
Deuces.